All right. So this is kind of a sideshow, pun intended, to our normal podcast. This is one where we kind of just hang out and kind of talk about a specific topic, or sometimes it's just going off on tangents. But tonight we wanted to talk about haunting during a pandemic and how that's going to go, and the topic of the drive-through haunts that we're starting to see advertised, primarily down in Florida is the only place I've really seen it, but I'm sure there's probably going to be some other places probably following suit. So those are our two main topics we're planning on discussing. But before that, Erica, why don't you give us a little bit of a background about how you got into haunting and what brought you to where you're at now?
Well, my neighbor always did a home haunt, so I was always helping with that. And then my elementary school always did a big haunted house every year. And you couldn't help until you were in 6th grade. So as soon as I turned 11 and I was in 6th grade, I was allowed to help. And that's when you were allowed to like act in it and help in it and stuff like that. And you can do it through high school. All the high schoolers would come back and do it and stuff. So I would help with that. And so I started at age 11 helping with an elementary one, and then started doing community haunts and helped with my neighbors, like home haunts and stuff like that. And then started doing large haunts in like 2007.
Talk about a cool school. Wish I had a school like that.
Yeah, it was actually for like that documentary that's called like The Art of the Scare or something.
Yeah.
Had a lot of McCamey Manor in it.
Yes.
But that my elementary school was in it for like a split second. They talked about it.
It probably would have been in there more if Russ hadn't got to him. But anyways.
Yeah, I know.
My school, all we ever did was sell gift wrap and oranges. That was the extent of our trying to do things to raise some money or whatever.
Yeah, I went to a Nashville school, so we didn't do no kind of haunting, unfortunately.
My school was really big on it. We did like a huge haunted house, and we did like a huge fall festival thing around it and stuff.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. But it's cool.
But you said you started, I would say, started professionally in 2007, you would say?
Yeah. About 2007 is when I started doing big haunts. I did like college haunts and stuff like that beforehand. But 2007 was when I started with larger haunts.
Cool. So I know Carroll and I were discussing earlier, points of topic that we wanted to ask you about specifically, because you've had experience with shows on the West Coast, whereas, myself, I've only done shows in the Southeast United States. And there's definitely a distinct style difference between the two that I've noticed. Nothing like, I wouldn't say there's a major difference, because it's still haunting, but there's just style choices and sometimes aesthetics that are played off of differently. What would you say is one of the differences you've seen between West Coast haunting and, we'll just say, East Coast or Southeast?
I mean, I haven't like worked in a haunted house on like the West Coast, unless you count like Denver as West Coast, in a really long time. But the only difference the major difference that I've seen is like who can handle cold weather haunting versus hot weather haunting. And like for some reason it's like this huge battle between like West Coast and East Coast and all over the place. It's really funny to me. I don't know. Midwest.
Thinking Tupac and Biggie about to pop up.
Yeah. Hot versus cold. Who can wear cold weather costumes versus hot weather costumes?
Hit them up.
Julie's done late August, early September southern humidity haunting. I don't want to hear you.
Yeah, there's that too. Snow.
Yep.
I've never been to a, no, I don't know. No, I've never been to a snow haunt. That'd be
Oh, it's fun, especially if you're outside. You're shoving like those hand warmers like in your shoes and stuff.
well, me and my wife had been to Nashville Nightmare in December, and that was miserable after standing outside in 20 degrees.
Tell me about it. I was in nothing but a bathrobe, Jimmy.
Oh, yeah, you were.
Woo! That's your choice, Carroll.
You know
At
what?
least you was
No,
getting
it wasn't
paid.
just my choice. I did it for the fans, okay?
You got paid to do it. We was paying to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, salary. I was salary. It wasn't like I was getting paid on the side.
Oh, okay.
You did it for the fans once you got there, Carroll, but why were you wearing it to the store before you got there?
It gave me a reason not to wear pants, which is always a good reason.
You're always looking for that.
Yes.
I can see Carroll out there in Knoxville in his boxers working on a haunt.
Hey.
I don't think that he's done that to them yet.
No,
No.
I'm trying to keep work. I'm not trying to lose work, Jimmy.
You don't want to do all that.
To be fair, I was by myself at Monster Mountain that day, okay? Like, I wasn't expecting anybody to be up there. But when I was in my underwear and a tool belt, it happened. Somebody came up there and saw the goods.
Great things happen when you party naked.
Is your best work when you're in your underwear at a haunt?
No comment.
All right, Matt, move on before I say some more dumb shit.
I'll just say let's jump into one of the main topics of discussion for the evening is we'll jump into what are your feelings about what the haunt season is going to be like this year. We've already seen announcements from major shows like Universal's Halloween Horror Nights that they're not going to do the show because of the pandemic. Some of us kind of expected just because of the nature of the show and the number of people that show up to it. I know I personally think, depending on where you're at and what the local regulations are, I think outdoor shows are probably going to be able to open or at least have less restrictions. Just my gut feeling. So I'd be real curious to see what you guys thought.
Erica, first.
Oh, I mean, I think it can be done. I think it just depends on, like you said, like following regulations and like there's no way people aren't going to get mad at like one thing and then another. There's people are going to be angry about stuff. It's going to be a weird season for sure. But I mean, I think it can be done. We went to Utah and saw it done. But it honestly just depends on. I hope that people don't start off following the regulations and then like halfway through the season like drop off and just do whatever they want. Like I hope they kind of continue, but I don't know. It's going to be a weird season for sure. Nobody knows how to navigate it correctly, It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, that's one of my fears, and I've said this in a discussion before, is that I worry that maybe some shows are saying, yeah, we've got these regulations in place, but then the implementation consistently of those practices will really be the telltale of how genuine their concern is.
Yeah.
And, even without COVID, it's already hard to implement procedures as it is. Well, we're only going to let groups in so many seconds at a time. We're only going to do this. We're only going to do that. Yeah. As well as I do, a lot of that gets thrown out the window. Let's adapt so we can overcome the problems of the night and stay open and call it a day. You can't do that with COVID because there's going to be somebody that's looking. You're going to have a target on your back. They're going to be looking for you to mess up. They can put you on the news, blast you on social media and say, These people care about dollars more than they do people's lives, and that's what scares me. And we already, as an industry as a whole, for the most part, have a bad reputation of people thinking that we're not safe and that we don't pay our people and that we leave buildings a mess and nobody wants to rent to us. All these speculations. I was accused of smoking dope today because I was at a haunted house, and just because they smelled marijuana, it had to be the haunter that was doing it. Damn you haunters for smoking dope. But I think that's what I don't want to happen. I don't want this to be another black eye that we have to overcome for people to understand that we do care about our people, the people that come to our shows, the show being safe. And I understand that a lot of people can only do what they can do. Not everybody can do what me and Erica saw in Salt Lake at Fear Factory. But I think if you're going to be open, you need to have regulations in place and procedures in place and have safety as a number one priority. And if you don't, then you deserve to get blasted, because this is not a time, regardless of what you believe, like, you got to treat this thing like it's something that could actually harm people. And think about this. If one of your actors comes down with COVID, you may have to shut down for 2 weeks. That's huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
And I'll just say, I was going to be talking about, the black eye in the industry, is that this will be like anytime someone gets hurt in a haunted house. If a haunted house has an outbreak, it won't be ABC haunted house has a COVID outbreak. It's haunted houses don't take safety precautions for COVID seriously. They're dangerous. Don't do it.
It's going to happen. It's going to be, and for all I know, it could be somebody that's just, they don't care. I don't know who it's going to be, but it's going to happen somewhere. I hate to say that. And I hope that everybody just tries to do the best they can to avoid anything like that. I hope people get to open and have a great season, safe season. But I just know people are going to be like vultures, just waiting to attack, man. I hate that, but that's the way the climate of the world today is. People are just constantly looking for something, man.
And Erica, do you know of anybody around that how they're doing it?
I know a lot of haunted houses are getting like the masks, and then they're going to be like painting over them. So we saw that at Fear Factory. They put like the makeup over the masks. Also, a lot of them will have silicone masks and stuff, and each actor will like have that specific mask for like season, and like they will clean it out every night like they're supposed to anyway. But you know what I mean? I think that as long as, I think haunted houses too, I hope they all open. But the ones that do open, I think that as long as they kind of understand that things are going to change daily, probably, and go into that, like they're gonna have different like procedures probably daily. Everything's changing every day. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. I think they'll be okay, but I don't know.
What about you, Carroll? How are they handling it there?
They have their own procedures here that they're doing. Every haunted house that I've talked to, they're focusing on safety, and they're either going by the city's guidelines, the state's guidelines, or the CDC guidelines, or all a little bit of everything that fits them. Not every show's the same. Some shows do 5,000 people a night plus. Some shows do 1,000 people a night. So I know here they're doing a haunt queue system. It's kind of like when you go to a restaurant to get a table, you check in, and then they'll let you know when you're ready to go in, so you can hang out in your car, hang out with your group somewhere off, in the social distance, and then you just arrive to the entrance when they're ready. Also, time ticketing is huge. Also implementing that people wear facial coverings and making sure all that. Social distancing with actors, like even before the show even opens, like keeping your actors safe, but like doing makeup and costuming. That's a huge.
Yeah,
huge
none of that like hanging out in tiny, in all these pods, like they have to be separate from each other.
I mean, as haunted houses are, haunted houses are all walks of life. People from all walks of life work at haunted houses. And when you get that melting pot of people, you don't know where people have been, where they shopped, who they've been around. And that is the even more so to make sure mask and hand washing, all that stuff, because customers they may not even come through the door yet, and you've already maybe spread something among your own people. So you got to constantly be aware of it from as soon as you walk in till you leave. You got to be on your toes, and like Erica said, it's going to change every day. I mean, what I just read today, if you're over 6 foot tall, the study says that you're more likely to get COVID-19. They may start saying that you need to wear goggles. I think I saw you post a picture, Jimmy, of you wearing your swim goggles. We're going to look like Scuba Steve out there where it's all said and done with. We're going to be in a whole suit and everything.
Yeah.
Leg doctor masks. That's the way to go.
I mean, hey, they knew they were onto something right back then, right, Matt?
Yep, they knew what they were doing.
Hey, Matt, you just start making COVID masks, the whole thing, and just selling them. You quit your day job.
Better believe it. As soon as I get the new shop set up, that's the first thing on my list to do.
Hey, Matt made some awesome plague masks back at Death Yard, man. Those were sick. Those were awesome. He made those. What did we use like a base? What was it? Mardi Gras weird?
Yeah, it was a Mardi Gras kind of like the beak looking mask. That was my base, and then I put like a super thin flexible craft foam over it to make it look like leather. And then I took the brass paper rivets that you put them together and you fan the backs out. I cut those off and glued those on it to make it look like brass rivets.
Yeah, that actually was like some of the first plague doctors I've seen in a haunt. I remember me and you talked about that look, and obviously outside there was probably somebody else, but I remember in our area we were kind of the first to have the plague thing going on back in 2014.
Yep.
Well, okay, real quick, going back to the queue stuff for how they're getting people in. I don't know if it's a secret, but Doug Cox is trying to get people to write short stories and get them to narrate them, and he's going to play them over his FM transmitter while people wait. So like spooky stories.
That's a good idea. A lot of people forget about FM transmitters. It's like old technology, but I love that. Like a lot of Christmas events use those. They'll sync their lights to the FM transmitter, and when you're driving through it, you can play it on your stereo. I think that's a great idea. Anything to keep people entertained. If they're going to be in their cars, you want to give them your content, something that revolves around the haunted house to listen to or to watch something, So I think that's a good idea that Doug's doing that. I haven't heard that, but that's a good idea.
Yes, that way, if they're in their cars, you can actually have the actors come up to the cars if they got the windows up, I guess, and kind of cue lining, scare still.
I mean, you got to watch out for those actors that go over the top and start hitting the windows. And I know actors that have like climbed in cars and stuff, but yeah. They get so into it.
But I think it would be cool if they, like the story playing, it's almost like they're almost like theater, like while they're outside the car, they're kind of pantomiming along with what's going on or something along those lines. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, hopefully, I don't know, maybe a miracle can happen and COVID will go away before October.
It'd be nice, man, but I don't know, man. It's going to be tough.
We all got to have a dream.
So the way 2020 is going, if COVID goes away, it'll come back in October as something even worse. That would be a good transition over into the drive-through haunts. We were talking about stories playing over the FM transmitters, stuff like that, while people are waiting in their car.
Yeah.
I assume something like that's probably going to be used or implemented in the drive-through haunts that they're doing. I'm real curious to see how those are going to work out. Especially you talk about, the overzealous actors. That car is moving. Don't jump onto it or don't try and jump in front of it.
I mean, if they have like a line that they can't pass, have you seen those like drive-through strip clubs? It's got like ropes and stuff they can't go past.
What? Drive-through strip clubs? Holy shit!
It's out there.
we're not as progressive as Denver down here in Nashville yet.
Well, it's like in Portland and somewhere else. I don't know.
Hey, I mean, the 3-foot rule means something completely different at a drive-through strip club.
That it does.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just picturing. I'm just picturing now like a car wash, but with stripper poles down the sides.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
It's like you got
they
like
have
a little.
tents set up, and they have like ropes so they can't like go past this specific rope, and then the car just drives through, and they're like doing their thing over here on the other side of the rope.
You
know?
throw your money in a bucket and go, all right, I like that
Yeah.
one, and I like this one.
You order food at the beginning of it. By the time you get through the end of the drive-through, they hand you your food.
Yeah, I saw the one with the food. I mean, strip club and food. You had me on strip club and food.
I think I would be.
That is interesting.
A lot of people. I posted that link about the drive-through haunted house in Orlando. Friends of mine down there posted it, and some friends of mine have friends that are working down there or working with them. And a lot of people were real quick to go, "Oh, that's stupid. It's so dangerous." I hate when people bash something automatically.
Yeah.
Because think about the person that said, "Hey, I'm going to do an app where people can come pick you up at your house and drop you off places." And they're going to be like, whoa, you're not supposed to get in cars with strangers. What are you doing? That's what taxis are for, right? Or this is my favorite one. What can I do to really amp up my haunted house? I got a chainsaw. I wonder if I take the chain off and chase people with a chainsaw. I bet people would like that. Like, are you crazy? That's so dangerous. What are you thinking? No, like there's always people. These people have thought about everything, I'm sure. And insurance to me is the biggest obstacle, because when we were doing Nashville Haunted Woods and Hayride, we were having a tough time finding tractors to rent. And I was talking to Brad Webb at the time, and we're sitting there like, well, maybe we can rent trucks, or get trucks from like a dealership or something. And he's like, well, we get some heavy duty trucks, a little bit easier to navigate. I don't know. Let's look into it. Insurance company said we couldn't have trucks for our hayride. It had to be tractors. And insurance to me would be the biggest obstacle. And Erica, you came to the hayride. You knew exactly how strict I was when it came to actors being around the wagons. I think you were there one night when I went on.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't go
I was there.
I was very blunt with somebody and says, hey, we don't do that. You're going to go home alive tonight. Not her. Erica remembers that. She was there. But
Carroll, you be blunt with someone? No.
I know, right? Like people get all mad when I tell them, like the truth, and they, why did you do that? But the thing is, the biggest issue I see with the drive-through thing in Orlando is being in Orlando. Now, obviously, Dark Horizon last year, we were down in Orlando, right in the backyard of Disney and Universal, and that was a feat. That was a huge accomplishment just to get open and do that down there. And there's a lot of competition. Obviously, Horror Nights is closed. I don't know about Busch Gardens, but I mean, I say I'm all about it. I'm all about anything that's a new experience. And I had this. Me and Eric had this conversation the other day. If you aren't trying something new during this COVID time and you have a business, you're missing out. COVID is the perfect time to try something that you've been wanting to try, because things are different. And whether it be how you do your ticketing, how you do your queue line, how you do your attraction, how you do your flow, everything. If you have a new idea, now is the time to implement it. And if it doesn't work out, you can sit there and say, during COVID, we tried something new. It didn't work out, whatever. But if you're not trying something new right now and you have a haunt, or any business for that matter, restaurant, bar, if you can be open. I mean, look at a lot of restaurants didn't really put forth an effort for to-go. A lot of restaurants have always focused on to-go. Outback, Carrabba's, a lot of those restaurants have always been really big on to-go. Some restaurants that weren't, you kind of see what happened. You got to be prepared for a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I put out a question on our Instagram, New Haunt Order Instagram, and it was, we want to hear your thoughts on the upcoming haunt season. And someone said it's going to be here in SoCal, it's going to be the season of home haunts. So
Yeah, I agree with that.
maybe
The only place we haven't heard from that I can think of out here that's like a large scale situation. Yeah, I'm in Southern California right now. The only place that we haven't heard from is Knott's. Everywhere else is not opening. So we'll see. I think it's going to be the year for home haunts here too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're going to have, obviously they're not going to, regulate your home as much as they're going to regulate a business, or not be able to implement it at least. And, people are going to take better care of doing things on their personal property than they would necessarily at a business. And typically, I mean, some home haunts draw huge numbers, but you're typically not going to have the huge crowds that a professional haunt's going to have. So you can manage the flow, I would imagine, a lot better.
Do you think if the big haunts are closed in certain areas, the home haunts are going to be packed?
People are going to want to go do something.
I think this is me and Matt have had this discussion. If bigger haunts don't open, the smaller haunts will benefit. A lot of people will have to venture to places they never heard before, or they've heard about but they've never gone. Because when you're with a group of people, sometimes you get voted out. I was voted out all the time. Like, I want to go to haunted houses that nobody even heard of. I'm like, Carroll, why do you want to do that? It's like, well, I've been to the other ones. I want to go to this one. Well, let's just go to this one. It's close by and we know what it is. Whatever. So I'd have to venture out sometimes by myself, or, but the thing is, if you're, I would go ahead and assume that your attendance, at least just to be safe, is going to be cut in half, at least. I just don't see how you can keep pumping through and go by, the guidelines, and I just don't see it happening. But smaller haunts, I think, will benefit from it if they can get open and stay open. And it sucks for larger haunts, but I think, like Matt said earlier, if you're outdoors, it's going to help a lot.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've been saying too, just for the last couple of years, and this was before we'd ever even heard of COVID-19, but I've just had a gut feeling for the last couple of years that the industry is kind of cycling back towards people liking smaller shows and being able to have the time to enjoy the show and not feel like they're herded through like cattle. Because when you get into these larger shows that draw thousands of people a night, you can't do anything but send through one big line, or you'll be there until 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And I've just had a feeling the last couple of years that almost like kind of like boutique haunting, like these smaller shows that people can put more of their, their personal touches on that people will see as they're going through, as opposed to these huge, massive, elaborate shows, which I love. Don't get me wrong. I love going to Netherworld. I love seeing huge, elaborate sets. But at the same time, I also enjoy going, being able to walk through and actually look at things and find those little details, those Easter eggs.
I think if you're going to have a huge haunt, say like a Netherworld, and you're doing a conga line, you have to set it up like Netherworld, where there's constantly sensory overload. Bam, 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 bam. And I've never not had a good time at Netherworld.
No.
And it's been a conga line every time I've gone. And I mean, Erica, what was your first time you went to Netherworld?
Oh my God, I couldn't even I was looking at everything. I was like, I didn't even pay attention to the fact that there were people in front of me or behind me. Like, no way. There was so much to look at.
I think I'm the only one here that has never been to Netherworld, so.
Jimmy,
I was just there.
Have not made it down there yet.
I haven't been to the new location yet. I haven't been since they moved to Stone Mountain, but I'm planning on changing that this year, if they're able to open. Because I'm not working this year. I decided to take this year off even before COVID-19 hit. I was taking 2020 off to go see some shows. So I'm still planning to do that with shows that are open.
I was about to say, COVID really screwed your plans up for going to see haunts anyways.
But to be fair, the rest of 2020 has been pretty good this year.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, not much longer, and you're gonna be a papa.
Oh man.
Scared to death of that.
The baby gonna come out with a beard already.
Full beard, longer than mine, which would be really sad because she's a girl.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be bad.
Well, I mean, bearded ladies, it'd be kind of cool, Matt.
You can make some money off that.
Didn't you say something about a sideshow earlier?
There you go.
I'm a carny. I will make money off of it.
Oh yeah.
Well,
So
real quick, I wanted to go back to, Carroll, you're talking about how you don't like it when people are just immediately down on something or think it's not going to work. I'm the same way. I hate that mentality because there were people that thought Disneyland was never going to work and thought Walt Disney was wasting his time. And clearly he wasn't. Clearly he was just thinking several years ahead of everyone else around him. And I have a feeling these people who are planning these drive-through haunts are doing the same thing. They're looking at it. They're going, okay, here's something that we enjoy doing. Here's something we do to make money. There's more than one way to get people through a show. It doesn't have to just be walking. And it kind of goes back to almost like a dark ride. It's basically an outdoor dark ride. You're in your vehicle. It's kind of this hybrid of, haunted houses, live theater, drive-ins. And, I'm sure they've thought about ways they can control the flow and ways they can control the path and make sure their actors can't get into the drive path of the car. So for people who just immediately, poo-poo on it, I think is very short-sighted and very closed-minded.
I mean, did we hear anything bad about the car wash haunts that opened last year? Like, I didn't see anything bad. I don't know if anybody else did, but those seem to work. And there's a ride at Knott's that's, I don't know if they still do it, but they had this one ride. It was like you get in a mine car with a bunch of people and you're on a ride on a track and the actors are coming up to the mine and you're like, they're right here. So it's like, I mean, if they could do it like on a ride, why couldn't they to do it in a car where you have more control?
I mean, when I first heard about it, I thought it was more like a car wash where you put your car in neutral and the track, like you go in that little recess thing with your tires and it pulls you through. That's kind of what I was thinking in my head, but I don't know how you could do that, because like even when you go to a Christmas show and you're creeping through looking at the lights, you turn your lights off and keep the speed limit, but who's to keep people from plowing into somebody else, like texting on their phone or not paying attention? Like I'm sure that
I think it would have to be like a certain distance. I don't know.
See, I mean, I'm sure they've thought about all of that. And people that are just like, come on, get real. They've thought about everything. They wouldn't be doing this if it was, especially from what I heard, the people that are doing it have been working for Disney and Universal in the past. So they must have some experience.
Hey, what if they do it like you remember Opryland? They had the old cars
Thin
you can
Lizzies?
ride in. Yeah. Ride some Thin Lizzies through a haunt.
I've been wanting to do that for a long time, Jimmy. That whole concept, that technology is old. Like it was around, for years at Opryland. It debuted, I think, even maybe I think when it's one of the first rides, if I'm not mistaken, like in the 70s. It's just a magnetic track that these cars just roll on. And I've been wanting to do that for a long time with like a hayride type scenario or something along those lines. But getting that track laid and that system is probably a good chunk. And I don't know if it's something you can just put down and take up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have to think, the company that's doing it, or people that are doing it, they wouldn't be spending money on marketing and putting information out there if they hadn't thought of every possible scenario. The one thing, and I'm sure they've thought about it, but this is just the one that pops into my head, is just, when certain people get scared, their flight.
Yeah.
So I would be worried about someone getting scared and, punching the accelerator. And
something else I thought of, with the way cars are these days, like, they're freaking ridiculous. when you go to MARTA, like get emissions, they put that little thing in your car and they read what it's doing. Who's to say there's something out there that can't just plug in your car and it just regulates exactly what it wants your car to do? I don't know.
Like a digital governor?
Hey,
Yeah,
what if,
like a digital governor.
this made me think? What if Elon Musk jumps in the haunt game and puts some Teslas in there?
Do
Oh,
like
man.
haunted house dances with the like doors and
Yeah,
stuff?
the doors.
I'm all
You
for
were-
it. Let's do it.
You ride in the
call me.
Tesla through the haunt, and it's on the autopilot mode.
Yeah, it's the self-driving.
Yeah, I want to do that so bad.
The phone's about to die on me.
Oh no.
Oh no, Matt.
I know.
That's why I probably good thing I don't have a Tesla, because I'd be the first, because I get tired driving, so I would probably really try to do sleep while I'm driving. I'm gonna test it out and see how long it can go.
Put your car like on cruise control.
Yeah,
You have to have it at
autopilot.
like a certain.
Do it for
Hey,
30
it's not
minutes
far
instead of a
Well,
long.
fine.
It's not far off.
Yeah.
See if I got a charger in my car.
Where you going? Like the grocery store or something?
Get away. Charger in my car.
Damn, he could do a podcast going down the road.
Hey, Jimmy can attest. I'm usually doing at least 2 or 3 other things while we're doing the podcast.
I think the last episode he was repairing the roof in his garage.
I was.
I wish I recorded the video of that and posted that. He's up there splackling the damn ceiling while we're doing a podcast, but still killing it.
And now
Well, I'm
he's
gonna
like,
put
what?
this in.
Are you testing out your theory by like how fast you can go with the distracted driver? Like, when you hit.
I want to see if I run into my
Gas cans out
neighbor's
there.
car. They're not going to like this test.
Hey, my buddy, when I posted that link on my Facebook, my buddy Cole, he said, "Hey man, how'd you total your car?" He said, "I drove it right off in a boo hole." I said, "Damn it, man!
A boo hole. Hell yeah.
Drove it right off in a boo hole."
When I get my car stuck in a boo hole.
Man, you gotta lock them hubs in so you don't get caught in them boo holes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Lord.
You get your charger?
No. So I'll just go until I die,
Oh, shit.
which is right there.
No, you're still on. Or is he? No, I think he died. Well, it's probably just going to keep the blur. It's the ghost of Matt that's joining us.
It's like Bigfoot.
Yeah. Kind of does look like Bigfoot, huh? But well, I guess I need to take the reins then. I wasn't prepared for this. Oh Lord.
I got faith in you, Jimmy.
Well, how about we just ask some of the questions we ask our guests, since you are
That'll
our
work.
guest. Let me find them. So don't make me awkward pause here. Oh, he went away. The ghost went away. Where are they? Okay. Well, they already asked you how'd you got started haunting. Okay. Have you ever built a scene? I guess that one ain't gonna work if you ain't. Have you built a scene in a haunt?
Me?
Yeah.
I've helped. I've never done like a full scene by myself.
Okay, we'll just go to 3 then. What is your favorite scene of any show you have been to?
That I've like worked at, or
No, just been to, like went through.
Good question.
Put you on the spot here.
Yeah. I don't know. There's one. Was it Dark Hour? Ooh. I don't remember which haunt it was, but they have like the scene where you walk in, and I remember the main thing was like up at the. I know that this exists at other haunted houses too. The like thing that I remember the most at this haunted house was you walk in, and they have an actor like running around the ceiling on a bungee, and it was one of the coolest things. I stood there and stared at it, like my friend and I. We both just like stared and watched this guy until we got kicked out of the scene. But I think it was dark hour. But
I've always
it was
wanted
really
to go
cool.
through a haunt where they do stuff from the ceiling because that's something you don't expect.
No, Netherworld does stuff from the ceiling.
I've never
They
been.
have
you
like
go,
things
Jimmy.
all everything like way above you. Like
And I probably my luck they won't open this year.
hey, don't say that. Don't wish that on them.
Well, I'm not wishing it on them, but I'm just saying my luck. That'd probably.
Jimmy,
They're working hard over there.
Jimmy, I guarantee you, your luck is better than mine, pal. I'm gonna go ahead and
Yes.
just tell you that for real, bro.
Well, well, you'll be a part of it. Maybe we can go before the season. Do they open before a lot of haunts open up?
Well, they're open usually during like every day in October, every day.
Okay.
They
COVID
open
maybe.
in September, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So it really depends on what the COVID does and their schedule, but I know they're open every day in October usually. So I usually go during the week. Last year was the first year I haven't gone since 2006.
Well, I might have to call out of work on like a Thursday night or something so I can get a 4-day weekend or a 3-day weekend. Yeah. 4. Whatever.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I know what we used to do was a lot of people would go on Sundays, like early October, and then take Monday off, just kind of, so you could probably do that. Just go on a Sunday.
Well, I'm talking about wanting to go with like y'all or you and when y'all go, because
we can make that happen, man. We can make that happen.
That would definitely be fun. A new haunt order. We can do like a whole video and everything.
We gotta dress up like the wolf pack, bro. You gotta dress up like the wolf pack.
Damn, is there a fat version of somebody I can be?
Hey, you be who you want to be, man. That's what's cool. You just be whoever you want to be.
I'll get a mullet wig that's bald, and I'll be Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
There you go.
So what is would you have a dream haunted house theme that you would want to be a part of? Anything you've ever dreamed about?
The one that I push the most, and it drives people crazy, and I've done it before, but I think I could do it better now. Alien. It drives people crazy how much I try and push aliens.
like the gray aliens, or like the alien from the movie Aliens?
You don't have to actually have any aliens in it. You can just make that so scary. I
want to go to a haunt that actually has aliens. Well, not actually have, but an alien themed haunt would be awesome.
Netherworld did aliens a couple years ago. But that's not why I want to do aliens. I just have always loved aliens, and I think it could be really cool.
You have someone staged in the group that gets abducted by an alien, like a beam comes over them and sucks them up. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, if we go in the mind of Carroll and do that, then there will be an alien probing somebody. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
If there was drill though, there's got to be an alien probing somebody.
Man, look, I don't dabble in the extraterrestrial, Jimmy. Okay, I don't mix the two. Okay.
Oh shit.
Drill does and aliens. No mixing.
What's your dream theme, Carol? Did you say like oh, I bet I know what it is. Chernobyl.
Oh, I didn't know yours was aliens.
Oh.
Hey, Jimmy, Erica thinks I'm an alien.
Okay, you told me you were, and the doctor said something about it.
Okay, this is getting awkward. Listen, Jimmy.
This is amazing.
She looked at me and said, Carroll, you're an alien.
No.
I don't know.
Is that why you're so good at doing what you do?
No, I'm
Okay.
I'm decent at what I do because I love doing it. I have a passion for it. That's it. That's the only reason for that. There's a lot of people better than me at what I do, but I do have a passion for it, and that's what you gotta have. And people
Are they as humble as you though?
don't know. I think a lot of people are. Some people aren't, but that's just how it goes, you know.
That's why you're such a likable guy, because I feel you're humble.
Jimmy, you're so sweet, man. Thank you. But, a lot of people don't feel the way you feel, buddy, but that's all right.
Well, I'm sorry they feel that way.
Me too.
Hey,
they're missing out, man, aren't they? They're just missing out.
I might have to cut this out because we don't want to cuss a lot, but I met a guy about 5 years ago. His name was Ray Davis. Big old beard. He looked like a member of them ZZ Top. But his whole saying was "fuck them all and feed them fish heads."
That guy sounds really cool. Him and Snake Man should hang out.
Oh man, they would. That would be an interesting conversation right there. But we'd have to have you there to translate that, though.
Hey, that's fine. I can take care of my buddy Snake. I'll be his translator. He'll be all right. I'm very fluent in Snakeman. I can speak Snakeman better than anybody.
Have you got to meet him yet, Erica?
Nope.
Oh, well, does he come out very often during haunt season? Does he go to haunts?
When he's living in Muncie, Indiana now, so when he was around, you know, we brought him to Death Yard a few nights that we were open and Monster Mountain wasn't. I brought him to Nightmare some to kind of help out. I brought him to the woods some, you know, but when I moved out of Hendersonville, I went up to Gallatin for a while. Like, you know, I would swing by to pick him up, but then, you know, he moved again, and I didn't know where he was going to be from time to time. So it kind of, you know, Snake Man's just a wanderer, man. And when he's up in Muncie now, so I don't get to see him much. He'll send me a thumbs up on Facebook from time to time. Just let me know he's all right. He sent me a video the other day, just saying what's up. I was like, oh man, he's getting gray all over. He's getting old.
So Snake Man has a smartphone?
Snake Man, thank you, Erica. Thank you very much. He has some kind of smartphone that he uses because he doesn't have it all the time. You can tell when Snake Man gets online because I'll get like a bunch of likes or whatever or shares because he gets on there and starts sharing or liking my stuff or posting half naked women, which he does that a lot. He probably has more viruses than anybody.
I don't know him, but I was about to. Nah, never mind, I won't go there. You think he has someone that takes his phone away from him?
No, I just think that his stepson Ricky, I think they probably share a phone because Snake Man doesn't get on there a lot. So when he does, he did have his own phone for a while, but it was a prepaid phone. So who knows? You know, who knows what he does? Snake Man is a mysterious individual. You don't know much about Snake.
Well, maybe so he could be almost like a cryptid, huh?
He is. I think, because he always told me that in Japan he got a black belt in karate, and he flew a helicopter upside down, and he was like some badass dude. I'm telling you, like I don't know what to believe. Snake Man is like, everybody talks about Chuck Norris, but Snake Man is my Chuck Norris. Okay, like Snake Man could beat Chuck Norris's ass. I'm just gonna say it right here to everybody listening.
So we need to start doing Snake Man sayings instead of
period.
Or no, Snake Man facts instead of Chuck Norris facts, right? Need to do that.
Absolutely.
What would it be? COVID was exposed to Snake Man and it was in quarantine for 2 weeks or something. You can do that.
Jimmy? Yeah. Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Carroll, we can see you.
Okay. Everything froze.
Did you hear what I said though?
Now, what'd you say? I missed it.
Oh, I said COVID was exposed to Snake Man and had to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's you. Put that one
Hey.
out there.
I wouldn't doubt it. He is the most probably one of the biggest souls and the biggest heart of anybody I've ever met in my life. He's actually taught me a lot about building and construction, which is crazy, you know, but he's done it his whole life, like little techniques. I one time saw him take a screw, right, in his bare hands and stick it in a piece of wood and then drill it in. So like if you've ever taken a screw and tried to like jam it into a piece of wood, it's not easy. I don't know how he does it, but it's like, damn, dude, like that's that judo or karate he learned, I guess, in Japan. That's how he starts a screw. He's like, bam. Crazy. And his wrist when he's drinking beer, he never spills a drop. So he could fall in the beer and like his wrist rotates like it's a steady cam for his beer. It's really, really bizarre.
Oh shit. All right, I'll go back to the questions real quick, Erica. What is a specific memory that you cherish from haunting, besides Carroll?
Besides putting up wallpaper with Carroll?
Oh.
It's gonna be hard to beat that one.
Yeah. I don't know. I have so many, so it's really hard.
Okay, we won't put a favorite on there. Just name one off the top of your head. Or you can share a few. It don't matter. It's not limited to just one.
That's a very good question. I have no idea. I don't know if we ask these questions.
Well, when Matt died on us, it kind of threw me for a loop. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's so many years, so it's so hard to come up with some, you know.
Yeah.
I had a little girl once after I stopped doing like my main character that I had for a long time. Got really upset because they hadn't seen my character, so they wrote the haunted house, and the haunted house like tracked me down and like asked me to like send her my signature, and like she wanted an autograph from me. She was like this little 8-year-old girl who wanted my character's autograph, but we stopped being those characters. So I mean, there's stuff like that that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I guess you had a pretty famous character, huh?
Not really. It wasn't that famous. But she like loved going to the haunted house, and like there were people who would come to the haunted house for those characters like every year, and they would always be like, every year we get a picture with you, and we have like this frame where it's like each year. So I mean, there were people like that, but we weren't like famous. But yeah.
All right. Well, Matt has better transitions than me. I'm the producer over here.
Right.
What is one piece of advice you would give to someone considering becoming a haunter?
Don't give up. It's always hard at first. And there's always those people that are like, I want to do more. I want to do this and do that. And like, take your time. Like, don't give up. Take your time. Realize it takes time. That's what I would say.
I would also seek out well, now that it's the home of the year of the home haunts, that's the best place to start.
Yeah, look for who needs help right now.
Yeah. I helped out one that's close to me with my original character. Whew, it's addictive. It's addictive for sure. And it's a hell of a workout.
Yeah, it is.
I was running all over the place. I thought I was going to die. But it's so fun when you get that people screaming, though.
Yeah.
It's adrenaline. Yeah. Adrenaline keeps... See, if we can bottle up some scare energy, have an energy drink, a haunt drink.
I know.
Great.
Hey, I have an idea for an energy drink, Jimmy.
What's that?
It's called Nightmare Energy, right?
Yeah.
Wake up with a nightmare. Nightmare Energy. Boom.
He's had this idea for a while.
Yes.
I've heard him say it before.
It doesn't mean it's not a good one.
Well, with your whole, I'm sure your black book of people you know, Carroll, what is the word? Networking over the years of haunting.
Yeah.
not that black book. But the networking black book. Maybe you can find someone to help you get that going, or maybe take it on Shark Tank.
There's so many energy drinks out there now. It'd be something that if you just buy a generic. They have those companies where you can
make your label.
Yeah, I'd probably do something like that because all that other crap would be just too much. I'm not really into doing all that. I mean,
I guess it would be cool to throw a label on it and just be like, yeah, here's my energy drink. Or just to have a couple cans just to sit on the shelf and say you've done it.
Yeah. I tell you, Jimmy, since you were talking about home haunts and things like that, a good buddy of mine worked at Nightmare and the Woods with me is Nate Dingman. He has a really good home haunt in Murfreesboro. You should have him on the show here and talk to him about his home haunt. And maybe if he's looking at, doing a little bit more this year because of COVID. So he'd be a good guy to have on in and talk about home haunts.
He's building right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen his progress. It's pretty cool.
There's two other people too that used to be home haunters, Logan and Misty Sharp. What'd
you say Nate's name was? Sorry to interrupt.
Nate Dingman. I can send you his information.
Oh, I actually already got him on here.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, I'll hit him up then.
Yeah, him and he has a home haunt, and then Misty and Logan Sharp used to do a home haunt before they started working at the Woods and at Nightmare, and even though they don't do a home haunt anymore, they'd be maybe possible to talk to about doing a home haunt and what it was like, and if they were going to open one now, in COVID, what would they do? So if you want to do a home,
don't do it anymore.
Huh?
Don't do it anymore.
They can't. They just didn't have time. I mean, you know how it is. It's damn near impossible.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
But no, Jimmy, I'd like to say this too, Jimmy. Like, a lot of people are saying Halloween's canceled. It's not canceled. I mean, obviously, it's Halloween's what you make it and all that. It's going to be different. But don't be that jerk that goes in assuming everything's going to be normal because it's not. Restaurants don't have the same menu items anymore right now. They have a limited menu. Like, things are different. Things are changed. We don't know if it's going to be that way forever or just temporarily. But Halloween isn't canceled. Don't let this kill your Halloween spirit. Still have fun. Do your thing. Try to visit haunts if you can, safely. But this whole concept that Halloween's canceled, I don't believe it. I think that's bogus.
I'm just curious to see how trick-or-treating is going to go because that is one of the biggest things that me and my buddy Johnny, you met Johnny.
Yeah.
We would sit out in the front porch and hand out candy and just to see the kids dressed up. Like, we would set aside a big little bag of candy for who we think has the best costume. So I hope it don't change that is what I'm scared about.
Well, I mean, luckily, if you're wearing a mask, you wear a little facial covering and wear your mask over it. And I mean, should be fine. But, the big, huge gatherings of kids, all around, that may be different. But I don't know. I mean, growing up, I used to go to Jolton to trick or treat, like up there in the boonies, man. So that was just go to you had to get in the car and go to this house, get back in the car, go to another house. I never really did the neighborhood trick or treating thing. I always just went to friends and family that we knew.
Yeah. We live in a big neighborhood and we usually get 300-400 kids in one night. So it's pretty damn busy. And we'd have my kids go out and get candy, and all the bad candy they got, we'd put back into the bowl and give it out.
Give it back out. We don't want that.
Lose.
There was one year that I worked at a cheese factory down here in Manchester, and I was able to get a bunch of cheese for like $1 for a pound for it. So we had string cheese, a shit ton of it, and we ran out of candy. So we started handing out string cheese.
Love getting string cheese. Like, yes, please.
We overheard a couple of teenage girls walking off, and they was like, "What'd you get?" And the other one said, "I got string cheese." Sound all depressed and stuff. So what you talking about? That's
That's
snack
funny.
for later.
I've
That's
been given like soda. I've been given toothbrushes. People give out
It'd be
weird stuff.
madder than hell if I got a damn toothbrush.
He was a dentist.
Oh,
Because it also had like his like
oh,
he like stapled his business card to it.
so it's promotion for him.
Yeah,
Maybe I should do that. Just hand out Tennessee Horror News cards or something.
there you go.
Put them in each
There you
bag
go.
of the kids.
Yeah.
Like, they definitely don't need to listen to those other podcasts that I do. But anyways, I got some stickers. I think a new haunt order.
There you
I
go.
don't know if I got a bunch of them, but need to get y'all some of them. I know Carroll was rocking the shirt the other day.
Yeah, dude. It's my haunt shirt. I have like a stack of shirts that I wear when I build haunts, and that's one of them. So
Yeah. I need to get you one too, Erica.
Okay.
Next time, T Public messes up and give us $30 off instead of 30% off. I love when they do that. That's how I got this shirt. Got it for free. I paid shipping.
Nice.
But yeah, do that. We'll get you a free shirt.
Okay.
I don't understand how I twice we've done this, and I'm like, how does she not realize that she gave us $30 off and not 30%?
Maybe they're new person.
I don't know. But every time I do it, that seems to happen. So, oh well, that's how I got this thing for free.
there you go.
But anyways, enough of that. I probably shouldn't have shared that secret. And next time I do it, she probably gonna listen. Like, yeah, you're getting 30% off now, buddy.
Yeah.
But hell yeah. All right, well, I guess got anything else, Carol, Erica? Y'all want to talk about? Anything going on?
Erica, you wanna do some closing statements on COVID right now with haunting?
I mean, I feel like I've already kind of said everything, that I think that everyone just needs to take everything day by day and realize that things are going to change and be open to ideas of change. And that, I mean, I hope everybody can open that's like aiming to open, and go support each other, but don't be assholes about it. You know, wear your mask when you go and don't fight it. Because it's like, I think it would just help them, you know? Help them stay open and stay healthy.
A little more shameless plugging here. You can get a new haunt order mask on TeePublic. Just saying.
Oh, there you go. That's another thing. I think haunted houses should sell masks. Get on board. Like, you know.
I wouldn't doubt we see that happen.
Yeah, their logo on it or some kind of cool, like, I don't know.
Do like, was it? I think. Who's that? Immortal Mask. They have stuff like that. I think they have some of the. I think it's the ones that go all the way around you though, instead of just the ear mask. It goes all around your head, but some pretty cool designs on them.
Oh yeah.
Like I took one of those cheap Wish Jason masks. I cut the eyes out, and that's what I wear to work is a Jason mask. But I just put tape over the holes, so they don't try to say that I can't do that. It's pointless. You're still breathing out. So I just put a piece of clear tape. Oh, I think we lost Erica. Oh, did we lose her?
I don't know.
Oh, but yeah, I just put a piece of tape over the holes, and I wear it every day at work. Some woman said something about Silence of the Lamb, and I'm like, I guess I can see that.
That's what I was gonna do. Is gonna get a molecular mask and do that, but I thought that'd be kind of weird. Be walking around with that.
I'm the only person that does this. I'm the only person I've seen at work that has a Jason mask on. I ride around all day with it on. I
That's
got
awesome.
compliments and people's like, "Where'd you get that?" And I said, "I made it." But I had it up here. I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you. But I need to get the sandpaper out and sand it a little bit because the edges are kind of rough and they kind of rub my face a little bit. But anyways, Carol, I appreciate it. Yeah, I guess we lost Erica.
Well, dude, I hope everything goes well this season for everybody. I really do. I hope COVID, disappears and everybody has a great season, a great Halloween, and we'll just get through it, man. And next year it'll be bigger and better than ever. If this year isn't what everybody anticipated, but we'll get through it, man. And I hope you stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll talk soon.
Oh yeah. Hold on.